I think people should always be respectful to each other. Right. And if you disrespect me, that is when you're going to see the other side of me that a lot of people don't see.
Who is Dennis Chung?
Um, well, I'm an accountant, you know. Um, I'm someone who I have been um, involved in media for a little while. I mean, I've been over 20 years now. I've been either writing in the paper, doing public presentations, commentary on radio, TV. Still doing it. Seemed like a very long time. Um, so by profession, I'm an accountant. Um, I've done over 20 years now. I've been involved in government service by sitting on public sector boards. Um, I actually was the one who managed the Air Jamaica divestment. Uh, my reappointment under the Jamaica Labour Party administration when I was appointed first by Portia Simpson Miller under the PNP to the NSWMA. Well, it wasn't the first time. I actually was a chairman of a subsidiary of JUTC um, when I was appointed by Mike Henry as transport minister and reappointed as chairman by Omar Davis. We had turned around that company from a loss of about $3 million a month to $1 million a month, and brought up the financial statements up to date. So it was the first time I'm being reappointed. Um, I'm very big on corporate governance, uh, and the most important thing to me is my name. Integrity is very important. I'm a I am someone who I am. I think I'm pretty laid back, and I'm not. I'm not big into a lot of people into profile and material things. Those things don't matter to me. Give me the capacity to buy a bicycle every 5 years, and I'm good. I ride a lot of bicycle, and I love Jamaica College. As I was talking about earlier, that has been my foundation. Um, my my greatest passion is Jamaica.
Yeah.
I believe in Jamaica and Jamaicans. I want to see the better for Jamaicans. I believe that people should always do the right thing and be equitable in whatever you do. I don't like people who abuse their positions of authority. Um, and that's basically me in a nutshell. I don't know much, apart from work. Spend time with my children, go to ride my bicycle. Every now and again, like every 6 months, I'll go somewhere. You know, I don't drink alcohol. I don't eat red meat. You know, um, hoping to live a little longer, even if 2 days longer than I was supposed to live. You know,
All right.
so that's basically me.
All right. So speaking about people using their powers of authority
Yeah.
and abusing it. How did you become a leader per se? Because you're known for your leadership. I'd say you're a professional leader. So how did you put yourself in a position to be appointed into so many leadership positions? Where did that begin? From just an accountant to being a perpetual leader in every room that you
Um, you know, when I was president, and you have to get involved, right? So now I was president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, which for me was one of the greatest accomplishments ever, because to get to the head of your profession, your chosen profession, is one of the greatest accomplishments you can have. So now as president, a young accountant said to me, how do you get to be in a leadership position? How do you get to distinguish yourself from everybody else? And I said to him, um, if there are 5,000 chartered accountants out there, and you do everything that every other chartered accountant does, you will be like every other chartered accountant. You have to pick something that is of value to the country, to organizations, and you have to choose to do that, and you have to choose to do it against the odds, right? So I put a lot of time initially, for example, in writing, you know. So when my friends used to go out and drink, I used to spend my time writing articles, you know. That's how you get. Give me a minute. Let me just close the thing behind me here.
All right, no problem.
That's part of it. Yeah. Yeah. You realize I have dogs, right?
Yeah. Okay, okay, now dogs, real quick. Let's spend too much time.
I've Doberman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Some big dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. So when people I know used to go out and drink,
Yeah.
I used to just write my articles, you know, and I started very early. But they chose to go and drink. I chose to write my article, and that's how I got people. People started to know me because I used to start writing on the economy. And when I started writing initially, it used to take me like 2 hours to write an article. Right now, it takes me like 15 minutes or 20 minutes to write it, because you know, an expert is not someone who is gifted, but someone who does put in more and more practice than everybody else. I also used to volunteer a lot for public service. So I started public service from in the 1990s. I was on the FinSoc Oversight Commission as a commissioner at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. Every year since then, I have been on some government board. You know, I remember when I started working, you know, when I used to go to all the public forums there were, and I used to just introduce myself to the politicians. I used to just walk up to them and introduce myself, and I got to know all of them because of that on both sides, you know. And then, so when you establish yourself that way, you go through some adversities, you know.
Yeah.
And it's never always a straight way going up, because people will try to corrupt you. People will say bad things about you, right? But if you know that you're doing the right thing, that is what does. You go ahead and you continue doing what you know is the right thing, right? And build your integrity that way. And once you build it, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to tear it down. So my position that I'm in now was never that something that I chose to do. It was something that came, and leadership is not something that you take. It's something that people that you lead give you.
Yeah.
You know, they recognize that. So that is basically how I think that I got here. You know. And after many years, you know, here it is. It's not something that, you know, I know a lot of people nowadays is in no generation. They want things right away. It don't work like that. Things take time to build. Things take time to develop.
All right. And before we get into where we are now in the JFF, speak to me about, you know, when someone hires Mr. Dennis Chung, you know, when the JFF hires Dennis Chung to be the GenSec, what are they getting? You know, final personal question. What are they getting from Dennis Chung?
Not even the JFF, when Grace Kennedy, or
Whoever,
when the government,
whoever.
when the JLP, when the PNP hired Dennis Chung
Yeah.
to come and the organization. So,
They're going to get someone who says it as it is, someone who always does the right thing, right? And someone who is going to try his best to do what is supposed to be done, you know. Someone who is not going to think that they're better than anybody else, right? Because I think respect is very important. I mean, the person who serves the coffee plays a very important role in the office.
Yeah.
You need to respect it. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me, because I think disagreement is good. That's how you learn. But I have a problem with disrespect. I think people should always be respectful to each other. Right? And if you disrespect me, that is when you're going to see the other side of me that a lot of people don't see.
Understood.
You know?